Jeffrey Dahmer, a name that has become synonymous with horror, madness, and pure evil. Known as the Milwaukee Cannibal, Dahmer's story isn't just about murder. It's about obsession, loneliness, and the terrifying darkness that can exist inside a human being. Born on May 21st, 1960 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer grew up in what appeared to be a normal middle-class home. But from a young age, he displayed disturbing behaviors that hinted at what was to come. He collected animal bones, dissected dead creatures, and showed a fascination with how bodies fit together. His father, a chemist, thought this was harmless curiosity, but for Jeffrey, it was the beginning of a lifelong obsession with death and control. When Dahmer was 18, his life took a dark turn. In June 1978, just 3 weeks after graduating high school, he picked up a hitchhiker named Stephen Hicks. They went back to Dahmer's family home, drank beer, and listened to music, but when Hicks tried to leave, Dahmer panicked. He struck him in the head with a dumbbell and strangled him. Afterward, he dismembered Hicks's body, crushed the bones, and scattered the remains in the woods. He later dissolved what was left in acid. It was the first of 17 murders. After that first killing, Dahmer went nearly 9 years without another murder. But his fantasies never stopped. He joined the army, was discharged for alcohol abuse, and eventually moved back to Milwaukee. By the late 1980s, the urges had returned stronger than ever. He began targeting young men, mostly from gay bars and clubs, luring them to his apartment with promises of money or photography. Once there, he drugged them, strangled them, and performed horrific acts on their bodies. His apartment at 924 North 25th Street would later be described as a real-life house of horrors. When police finally entered the residence, they were met with scenes straight out of a nightmare. Inside the refrigerator were severed heads, a human heart, and other body parts wrapped in plastic. In the bedroom were jars filled with preserved organs and large blue barrels containing acid used to dissolve flesh. Even more disturbing, detectives found dozens of Polaroid photos documenting every step of his crimes, from posing victims before and after death to dismembering their bodies. But Dahmer's crimes weren't just about killing. He told investigators he didn't want his victims to leave. He was terrified of abandonment. To keep them close, he attempted to create what he called zombies, living, mindless companions who would never resist or leave him. He drilled holes in their skulls and injected acid or boiling water in an effort to destroy parts of their brain while keeping them alive. Every failed experiment pushed him deeper into insanity. By 1991, Dahmer's behavior had become increasingly reckless. Neighbors frequently complained about the smell coming from his apartment, but his excuses of spoiled meat or exotic fish convinced most people to ignore it. That changed on July 22nd, 1991, when one of his intended victims, Tracy Edwards, managed to escape. Edwards fled the apartment wearing a handcuff and flagged down 2 police officers. When they returned with him to Dahmer's apartment, the officers opened a drawer and found Polaroid pictures of dismembered bodies. One officer famously said, "These are real." That moment ended a 13-year killing spree that claimed 17 known victims. The full extent of Dahmer's crimes shocked the world. He confessed in chilling detail, showing almost no emotion as he described each murder. In 1992, he was sentenced to 15 consecutive life terms, over 900 years in prison. But even behind bars, Dahmer's story didn't end. Some inmates wanted revenge, others were fascinated by him. On November 28, 1994, while cleaning a prison bathroom, Dahmer and 2 other inmates were left unsupervised. One of them, Christopher Scarver, attacked Dahmer with a metal bar and beat him to death. When guards found Dahmer, he was unresponsive, his skull crushed. He died minutes later. Dahmer reportedly never fought back. Some witnesses said he looked almost peaceful in his final moments, as if he knew his time had come. Today, Jeffrey Dahmer remains one of the most infamous figures in true crime history. His case has inspired countless books, documentaries, and even Netflix series. But beyond the sensational headlines lies a disturbing truth. Dahmer wasn't a monster born overnight. He was shaped by years of isolation, suppressed urges, and emotional emptiness. His story forces us to confront a terrifying question: how close can ordinary loneliness come to pure evil?